Alright, hey y'all. It is Thursday, August something or another, and I am running some errands. I just went to the post office. I said running some errands. I'm literally going to run the one errand. And then I'm gonna go home and edit some content, hopefully. That's the plan. I did wake up with some migraine symptoms, but I might just take a bunch of drugs and push through it, because yeah, I want to do that. I want to read. Yeah, that's pretty much all that's happening today. So let's get into it. Another weekly vlog.
Talk to me, it's what I want the most in my life. They say you're out of my league, but I don't give a damn. No, deep down, I know you want it. You wanna take a leap and jump in.
Update. I'm not editing today. My migraine got worse as soon as I got home. Like, dizziness is incoming. So, Bay's here. We're gonna chill. Probably watch some iCarly. Oh, I didn't change my calendar. Little block thing. Where's the 3 at? I have like so many different things telling me what the date is. I have this really cute cat calendar that they got as well, which I will show you in a moment. And then of course I have my desktop. So here we go. Oh, again, didn't change this one. Boom. I love doing that every day. It's like a nice boost of serotonin. Look at the little cat. It's so wild to me that like several hours ago, I said to myself, oh, I'm going to, you know, edit a bunch of stuff. I'm going to like read a bunch, hydrate. I've been editing the same vlog for hours because I keep finding like new things to whatever. And I guess, and I'm hoping it's because this is the first vlog I've edited in a very long time, like a first YouTube vlog that I've edited in a very long time. So as I go on, my process should be more refined and it should go quicker. So like when I'm editing this vlog, for instance, I know exactly what I need to do in the order I need to do it in. But it's just like, I wanted this video to go up today. Like, I'm trying to get into a schedule of posting on YouTube on Tuesdays and Fridays. I thought that I could get up and, you know, put the dang thing up today. Apparently that's not happening. Or maybe it will happen. I don't know. It's 8 p.m. so maybe, probably not. Yeah, we're gonna throw that out the window, at least for this first one. I will finish this up and schedule it for tomorrow, and then I know for next time that it takes me longer to edit vlogs. It just does, and that is okay. Or not that it takes me longer. I know what I need to do, and that is okay. So suffice to say, I have done no reading today. Last night before I fell asleep, I was reading in Nita Hall's Nightmare blog. I got, I would say, a third of the way through. Really loving it. It's very spooky. I enjoy the artwork. I enjoy the spooky elements. I don't think I've ever read a hardcore horror comic, so that's pretty cool. And I also got about halfway through volume 25, I believe, and Kofi Can't Communicate. So yeah, but in terms of reading for today, I've done none. I've just been editing, which is great because that's what I said I wanted to do. But still, here we are. I just wanted to switch up the view. You're currently balanced on my bed, so hopefully this works. I somehow ended up with 2 Book of the Month accounts, and well, not somehow, I know. When Book of the Month did their YA box, I signed up for that as well. And then when Book of the Month YA closed, or like rather consolidated to become part of the larger brand, I just thought that account closed, and it never hit me that I was being charged for a second account until I just happened to log in, or try to log in one day and figure out that I had like a year's worth of credits. So I've had 2 accounts for some months now. The credits on the second account have run out. Alright, so these are 2 books that were on my like most anticipated list, and the first one is Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. I have loved every book that this author has put out. This is her first adult. She's been doing YA since she debuted. And yeah, this is apparently about a anthropologist. Okay, I don't know where I got anthropologist from, but whatever. There is this woman who can predict when people are going to die, and she decides to gather her family for a living wake. And so of course the family's freaking out because they're like, is she about to die, or is one of us about to die? And yeah, it's going to be a look into family and such things, but I'm very, very excited. I don't know when I'll get to this. Maybe, you know what, I'll put this on my September TBR or September hopefuls list if I don't get to it this month. The second book is one I've been waiting for since like December when I finished this author's debut, and it is The Vampires of El Norte by Isabel Cañas. This author wrote The Hacienda, which I absolutely loved. It's an historical horror set in, I can't remember the exact place in Mexico, but I believe it's during the Mexican Revolution. And this is also, I believe, set during okay, not the Mexican Revolution. This is set when the United States invades Mexico, because of course. And this is a historical Western horror, which just sounds incredible. I know there's two perspectives, which we had in The Hacienda as well. There's a man and a woman who like are kind of loosely related, and some time passes or whatever. And yeah, there's vampires of some type. But I am very excited, and oh my goodness, my battery is dying. Wanted to check in because I only have this much left in Nita Hawes' Nightmare Blog, Volume 1, and I am absolutely freaking loving this. I love the art, I love the commentary, I love the incorporation of not really religion, but just these symbols in our Western society that is tied to religion and tied to Christianity. And it's just super fascinating. It has a lot to say about life and death, of course, but also about who gets to write the story and like who gets to determine what is right and what is wrong and what is moral, especially when you take into consideration that, you know, there's a saying that says history is written by the victors, I think it is. And so that is touched upon, and like, what is it to be devilish or demonic or bad or immoral? Like, who gets to decide that? We follow the perspective of this Black woman who has lost her entire family, and she's grappling with these ideas of mortality. She's grappling with these ideas of living in a nightmare, and the fact that she names her blog the Nightmare Blog not because she, you know, believes in the supernatural or anything like that, but because, you know, her life has turned into a nightmare because she lost her parents and then she lost her younger brother. Her reality is a nightmare, and I think that is just so poignant and it's just brilliant. And I am looking forward to the second volume whenever I can get my hands on it. I'm pretty sure I already added it to my Barnes & Noble's cart. But yeah, I am behind on my 31 and 31 by like just 2. Today is August 4th and I've read 2 manga. So I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll also finish volume 25, I believe it was, of Komi Can't Communicate, and I'll be caught up. But yeah, this is fun. Ooh, I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to do a like Instagram chooses mine, whatever. So I think what I'll do is I'll put a poll on Instagram choosing my next manga and or comic for tomorrow. Let's actually go over to this stack of comic books I have. All right, this is the stack from all here all the way down to here. So I think I'm gonna pick I think I'll pick maybe 2 or 3 comics, because I'm more likely to read a manga than I am to read a comic nowadays. It's because I read manga on my e-reader. I read it on my Kindle, so like it's always with me. I always have options, whereas picking up a physical comic book for some reason I rarely do it. So I'm going to pick 3 comics, and I'll do 2. I'll do 1 for comics and 1 for manga, and then I'll know what my next comic book is. So I have absolutely no excuses not to pick up a comic as soon as I finish Nita Hawes' Nightmare Blog. Okay. These are the 3 that I've chosen. These first 2 I talked about in last week's vlog, and then this is the 3rd one. So yeah, those are the choices. Not included in the poll, we have Dishwan. He's taking a nap. Oh, okay, there's the ear. Let me stop.
Where are you?
It is late Saturday. I'm actually about to go to bed. I'm still working on this damn first vlog. Like, I think I figured out what the issue was because I exported it, right? It was ready to go, uploaded to YouTube. Entire screen was black. The audio was there, but it was just a black screen. So there's some technical fancy term, I'm sure, but whatever. I'm troubleshooting. I've been troubleshooting since last night. My goal was to have it up today, but obviously today being Saturday, but obviously that didn't happen. So I'm gonna work on it. You know, I have Sunday. I'm going out tomorrow with the besties. We're having brunch, and my goal is to have the first vlog up by this upcoming Tuesday. I'm giving myself grace. Nobody's paying me to do this, so like I can take as much time as I want. These deadlines are all my own. I'm saying that so that I can remind myself. Also, I did the Beyonce like top hits bracket on TikTok, and I'm not gonna lie, that was a little hard. I will insert that clip. I'm saying it now, so editing me remembers. All right, I haven't seen it all around, so let's get it. Crazy enough. Thick. Ooh, I'm that girl. Let me see this one. Haunted. Rocket? Why did I say rocket question? I think I love, I think. Ooh, I'm that girl. I love that song. Not from the same album. Okay, wait. Rocket. Formation. I feel like this is like baby Beyonce versus grown Beyonce. Okay. I'm that girl. Rocket formation. Wait, what? Wait. Y'all, I'm that girl formation. Okay, ladies, now let's get in these motherfuckers in. Oh. I feel like these are both the same mood. Okay. No, don't be tilted. I'm not ready yet. I'm that girl. Yeah, that feels right. Formation being a top 2 though. Top 2, but not number 2 or not number 1. Wait. The video's ending now. But yeah, I've finished another volume of manga as well as a comic last night, so that's exciting. And I started Haikaiu volume 1 earlier. I got like maybe 5 pages in. So yeah, those are the vibes. I'm not going to talk about the manga and comic books that I'm reading for 31 in 31 this month because I'm planning on doing a separate wrap-up video, and that'll be coming towards the end of, well, at the beginning of September once I finish the month of August. But yeah, I just wanted to give an update because I didn't really vlog today. Well, yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. It is quite late. I'm going to go to bed and I'm going to let my desktop do what it needs to do so that when I get up in the morning, it is ready. Several tries and many hours and many days and many a headache, I finally scheduled my first YouTube video in I think 2 years. It is scheduled. Today's, well, it's really Monday morning, but it's scheduled for Tuesday and I'm very excited. I'm going to have some cereal to celebrate because I am a little hungry, and then I'll go to bed. Yeah, I gotta get up early because I have an appointment. I have a neurology appointment, so I can't do the whole staying up until 3 thing. Also, I'm exhausted. It was a fun day, but I is tired. It is Monday, August 7th. I have returned home from my Botox appointment, so if you see bumps along my forehead, that's what that is. They just have not gone down yet, but they don't seem to be too big this time. I did really well. The last 3 times, you know, I was a little shaky, but this time I did real well. I was fine. I did not have the after effects of a panic attack. like I did before, and I was able to drive myself home. Like, so I'm proud of myself, and I might buy some books. Might not. Probably will though. Probably will buy some books. But I just gave Strawberry a nice thorough combing. She doesn't like brushes. I don't know. Something about brushes she doesn't like. Maybe because she's a short-haired cat. I have no idea what it is with her and brushes versus combs, but she does not respond well to brushes. Loves a good comb though. Loves a good comb. I have to get all this fur that's like loose off of her. So the plan for today, it was super rainy. I mean super rainy, but the sun seems to have come out and now it seems to have disappeared, so maybe it's going to rain again. I was going to film some stuff, or not film, but I was going to like gather some books just to have random stock photos, but now that I think about it, the balcony is most definitely wet, so probably won't do that. But yeah, I do want to film my July wrap up. We're not filming, I already did that. I do want to edit my July wrap up and film either my July book mail haul or my August hopefuls. I'll probably start with my August hopefuls because like we are a week into August. But yeah, and also I do a ton of reading. I'm feeling good. There's a book that I want to finish today, which I'll talk about later, and feeling good. I'm feeling real good.
Breathe again. I've been beating down the block, knocking bus yes off the wall. Oh, that's how I ball.
I made a huge PetSmart order to last Strawberry for the month. My favorite thing after I go to PetSmart or pick something up from PetSmart and I'm taking it all out the bag is watching her just circle me, because she definitely knows all of this stuff is for her. That and watching her climb in the bags, because well, that's love to get in bags. What you doing? Oh, and there you go. Having fun. I might as well do a little PetSmart haul. So I got her these. They're treats, but they have some like type of purpose. All these are supplements. She gets these every morning. So this one is for clean breath and for like gum control and things like that. This one is just overall healthy indoor cat. And then we have, of course, skin and fur. I got her some more of these Friskies little soups. These go with her, well, it depends. Sometimes they'll go with her breakfast as like a topper, or it'll be her midnight snack. Most recently, I've been using it as a midnight snack just to get her through the night so she's not waking up, you know, with her little tummy super starving, and it helps her not throw up in the mornings, for sure. Then I got her some more dinner. We do the Applause flakes and gravy tuna fillet flakes recipe, as well as her absolute favorite. She loves this tuna fillet with peas and carrot. The funny thing is though, she loves this particular one, but she leaves the carrots every time. Like, she will not eat the carrots. Then we have her, what I call her kitty go-gurt. So it's like a puree. I think I have a clip of me giving her some of this, but I got the churro skin and coat, so something else to help with her skin and her coat, and the chicken recipe, as well as the tuna recipe. I also got another favorite snack, freeze-dried chicken, which she loves, as well as freeze-dried salmon. For her lunch, she gets these tiny little things right here. Viva La Kitty appetizers. This is the chicken and shrimp recipe. I also got her the salmon and mussel, which is funny because she does not eat the mussel. Like, she will leave the one mussel in there, as well as the tuna and scallop recipe. And yeah, that's it. Like I said before, I got her a month's worth of stuff, and then I also went through and cleared out a bunch of old cat food and cat treats that had expired just to clean out this it's really 2 shelves that we've given her in this cupboard pantry thing closet in the kitchen. And yeah, I do that every couple months just to like give it a nice refresh. And so I don't have a bunch of old expired stuff that we can no longer use taking up space. So that felt really good. I'm going to take half of this haul downstairs into her other cabinet, which is where I store things, so that this closet cabinet thing, I really don't know what this is, doesn't get over full. And then as she runs out of stuff upstairs, I bring it from downstairs. So I'm gonna do that now. Strawberry, hello. Let's take a moment to appreciate my money tree. Like, look at her flourishing right now. She was just a baby when I got her. Was that last summer? I'll put a picture in. And I named her Riri the money tree. She's named after Riri Williams, aka Ironheart. And then we have my ponytail palm, ponytail fern. I think it's a palm though, ponytail palm. And her name is Anya, inspired by Anya from Spy Family. And then we have my snake plant named Wanda, which I never know if I'm doing a good job with Wanda, but she's growing new leaves, so I must be doing something right. But yeah, these are my 3 plant babies, which I am very surprised that I've been able to keep alive, especially her, for this long. I mean, look at this growth, this new growth, because I used to destroy plants.
And finally, this Woven Kingdom. So let's see what the wheel decides.
Today was actually a really great day. It's not over. I mean, like, I'm not going to bed for several more hours, but got up earlier than I normally would, went to a neurology appointment, didn't have any fainting symptoms or panic attack side effects from my Botox appointment. Oh, I edited 2 reels and posted them both today. I'm done editing though for today. I wanted to get a head start on editing my July wrap up, but the brain is saying no, so I'm saying no. I did finish Bitterroot Volume 1. Freaking loved it. 4.5 stars. You'll get more thoughts in my 31 and 31 wrap up. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna get some cereal, get some more water, because that's the one thing I did not do today is drink enough water, and I know that. So I need to get back on track with drinking water, and I think I either want to finish a book, which I'll then tell you about when I finish it, or read volume 2 of Bitterroot. It was just so good. I might do that. I am like technically behind in my 31 and 31, so I think volume 2 of Bitterroot is gonna win. And then I also need to pick the next comic volume that I'm gonna read, or switch back over to manga, because I did start that manga. Or not, you know. It's just vibes at this point. It really is just vibes. Well, it is Wednesday. I just woke up. It's like Wednesday afternoon. I just woke up. But I wanted to talk to you about some books that I've been reading, because I feel like even though this is a reading vlog, I have not been talking about books that I've been reading. Alright, so first book we have Just for the Cameras, which is this one, which is a indie published authored book. Sorry, I have not had any caffeine, so like these thoughts are about to be all over the place. And we feature 2, I don't know how to put this. All right, so we have a couple, Jordan and Keon. They do sex work together, like virtual sex work, and their best friend and also flatmate is Luca, right? And so they all, like I said, share an apartment, and it takes place in the UK, so that's why they call them a flatmate. And after Luca walks in on Jordan and Keon spending some quality time together, the idea comes about for them to recreate that situation, but for the cameras, like, so for Keon and Jordan's subscribers. And within that, you have the emerging of this relationship between the three of them. So this book is polyamorous, it is queer, and it is spicy. Like, I read spicy books on a regular, but this is like spicy, like got you flustered spicy. And shout out to, who was it? I think it was Robin from Sometimes Robin Reads on TikTok and Instagram. That's how I found out about this book. She was talking about it. And yeah, it's been a fun ride. I read quite a bit last night as well. I think I'm about 70% through. And it's a 5 stars. Like, not just because of the spice, but also just the character work. So I'm enjoying, I should also be washing my face as I talk about this. So I am enjoying the relationship as well as the character work. Luca and Jordan, they have these taut relationships with their parents, and that is explored in this book. We have Keon, who has like a pretty stable relationship with his parents, but he feels a lot of pressure because he's working a job that he doesn't hate, but he's not enthusiastic about it anymore. It's stressing him out to a point where he's like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And there's just a lot of character work outside of the relationship that I'm enjoying. I also will say this is my first time using this gel cleanser, and I did not expect it, even though it said it would lather. I wasn't expecting it to lather like this, and really appreciate it. And for reference, this is the cleanser I'm using. It's Good Molecules. It's their Rose Water Daily Cleansing Gel. A gentle cleanser to balance and brighten the skin. The other book that I want to finish reading, because I started it in July and then like got so far into it, put it down, and I picked it back up last night, and that is The Thing About Home. I'll put the cover here, you know, I have the physical copy. The Thing About Home by Rhonda McKnight, and we follow Casey B. She's an influencer, and at the top of the book, she is about to renew her vows to her husband of 7 years, and right before that happens, like, right, she's in the dress and everything, he's like, yeah, no, I can't do this. And he calls off the wedding. This renewal was supposed to be live streamed to like 1 million people. So Casey ends up fleeing. She goes down south to spend time with her father's family, who she does not know, because her father died before she was born, and her mother just has never, you know, took her to meet them, has never opened up about that whole situation. So she goes down south to her family, and come to find out they own quite a bit of land. They're farmers. They've been successful farmers, and the story is mostly Casey's, but we also have some inserts from an ancestor of hers, Odessa Black, and you get to see how the Black family came to have this farm and be successful. It is a story about identity, but also about remaking yourself when you think like everything has kind of just fallen apart. And you know, Casey takes some time away from social media. She gets back into her actual love, which is photography, and she begins to reevaluate her life essentially. And of course, you know, there's a little bit of a romance element, but also just reconnecting with her father's mother, her grandmother, who's like 99 when she meets her, and learning about that side of the family and learning about her roots and who she is. So I've really been enjoying it. It's just also, it's one of those books where I'm not pulled to pick it up, but when I do pick it up, I can't put it down. So it's very readable. It's just doesn't pull you to read it, if that makes any sense. Oh, and the toner I'm using is, can you tell I'm not a beauty influencer? Is but what is this? AHA and BHA Rosewater toner. And I'm going to do hyaluronic acid serum by Good Molecules. I really love Good Molecules product. They're affordable, work, and you get quite a bit. You get a lot of bang for your buck, you know? So yeah, that's what I'm going to try and finish up. I also need to get halfway through the Bone Shard War, which I started last week. And I need to get halfway through it because Be Too Weird has a book club meeting tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to put on some moisturizer and some sunscreen and switch out this battery. So, because I have this tendency to become so sucked into editing and doing content things and not reading, I am setting some timers. I'm going to do 30 minutes of reading first, and then I'll do 30 minutes of like editing, because I have not started editing this vlog, which was not my intention. For the last vlog, I was editing that vlog like every day, in terms of just, you know, cleaning up the footage so that when I did the final look through, it did not take so long. So I'll do 30 minutes of reading and then switch over to 30 minutes of editing and then flip flop back and forth for a couple of hours. That also helps with the migraine. I did once again wake up with my head hurting, so I know that I cannot just fall into a pitfall of staring at a screen. I will see if there are any sprints happening on BookTube, because that may also help. It just makes it feel not more legit, but just, I don't know, knowing that there are other people somewhere in the world who also are trying to get reading and other productivity things done, and you're all doing it together. It's just a nice feeling of community. I'm going to finish this up. That's the first plan for today, all right? I would just like to say that I am extremely proud of myself for saying I was going to finish 2 books and then actually finishing those 2 books in the same day. So it is now 11 something at night on Wednesday, which means that we are nearing the end of this vlog. I decided a couple hours ago that I was not going to try and edit today. The fact that I have been waking up with really bad migraine pain to the point where like getting out of bed is just a chore, I think is a sign, right? I keep saying, I jokingly said a couple weeks ago that I am in my rest era. And I keep saying it because I need to keep reminding myself of that. Will the world end if I don't spend a couple hours or spend a day editing content? No, it won't. It really won't. And I felt so good just reading today, and I'm going to continue reading because it feels good. I do want to make some more headway in Fiona and Jane, and what was that other book? The Bone Shard War. I definitely want to do that. I think I'm going to prioritize Fiona and Jane. However, let's talk about the 2 books that I finished today. And also, I don't think I mentioned, did I mention the audiobook that I finished yesterday? I don't even know. I have been reading this week. I just have not been giving actual updates. So let's start with the audiobook. Okay. There Goes the Neighborhood. This is an audiobook that I started weeks ago. I got about 30% in, and then I stopped for some, well, not for some reason. I just was not in the mood for audiobooks, and I haven't been in the mood for audiobooks. And I was on my way to my neurologist appointment on Monday. Was that? Yeah, Monday. And I did not want to listen to music because I was having migraine symptoms, it was raining, and it was a little bit of a longer drive from where I was. And so just the combination of all that, I needed something that was not going to have me moving and bopping my head around. So I put this audiobook back on. This is a YA, I don't know, I guess it's a, I don't really want to call it a thriller. I don't know what category to put this in. Let me see what Goodreads says. Not Goodreads. What? I haven't been using Goodreads since like, I can't even tell you. Let's see what the story graph says. It calls it just a contemporary, and then it calls it a mystery. But I think it's really a contemporary, right? So we have these 3 friends, or we have this girl, because it's told from only her perspective. We have this girl, Rhea, and she and her 2 best friends, Zeke and Malachi, their families are essentially being priced out of their neighborhood. So this deals with gentrification, deals with racism, it deals with essentially white people and white businesses coming into neighborhoods that are disenfranchised, and instead of putting money in to revitalize the area with people, the original inhabitants still there, they're pushing them out. So they get word that Zeke and his family are being priced out of their apartment, and they have like a month. So they decide that they are going to create a fake gang using the power of social media and word of mouth so that the white investors are essentially no longer interested in this area. Things soon get out of hand. Let's just say some people end up dying, a dead body pops up, cops get involved. Like, so many different things happen in this book. What I really enjoyed is that in the first 30%, I was not feeling this main character. She was so annoying and just really annoying, because you have these two new kids to the neighborhood, Marley and Lou, and you know, Rhea's a little bit all up in her feelings. She has serious abandonment issues because doesn't know who her dad is. Her mother essentially has dissociated from her. Like, she has older siblings from another marriage. That was the man that she chose to, you know, get married to. And then Rhea's father was an accident, essentially, and Rhea was not planned. And now she has a new husband and she's never around, essentially. And so she's afraid of being alone. And you learn that as the book goes on. She does mature and she does grow. And what I appreciated about this was that her growth was not one and done, right? So she's able to acknowledge the fact that she needs to grow and she makes strides to grow, but she does slip back into these toxic tendencies. I found this really engaging. I would definitely put this in the hands of a teen reader. If I was still in the classroom, I would buy a copy of this to put in my classroom library because I would not be giving them my copy. Also, thank you to a publisher for this copy, Hyperion, which I believe is Disney, right? Disney Hyperion. Okay, why are we pretending that this isn't a Disney book? Isn't Hyperion Disney? Did I make that up? I didn't. I'm pretty sure. So, but thank you to the publisher for this book. My rating, I don't know yet. I don't know. I have to collect my thoughts, put all my notes together, and do my rating. Check out my story graph and also my Instagram to see what I rate that, what I end up rating it. Next up, I finished The Thing About Home. This was good. This was a very comforting, a very grounded novel that deals with identity. Like I said before, it deals with learning how to live what you've been preaching. And so our main character, KCB, she's always been preaching about, you know, women especially living in their truth and going after their dreams and doing what they need to do and putting themselves first. And she was not taking that advice. She was essentially, I really hope the chair creaking cannot be heard. She was essentially doing what she thought she needed to do in order to show this dream that she was selling. And I loved how she constantly goes back and forth with that. I loved how the romance evolved. Okay, this stupid chair. I love how the romance evolved. It was just a great book overall. Again, don't know what I'm rating this because I have not put all my thoughts together and done my official rating. So, you know, that'll be in my, what month is this? August wrap up anyway. So, you know, and then I'm looking for a physical copy and I don't have a physical copy of this book, but I finished Just for the Cameras by Viano Oniomo. 5 stars. I mean, just like, I talked about it earlier because I was 70% through when I did talk about it. It was so, when I tell you, I like finished this book 5 minutes ago and I immediately went to see what other books this author has out because I will be reading them. Like, no doubt about it. I will be reading them. And to find out that they have like I think it's paranormal fantasy, I don't even know, but it's called Sweet Revenge and it's the first book in the Sweet Demon series. Like, what? I will be reading this very soon, like very, very soon. I want to read Only for the Week, Just for the Week. What's that book called? Not me not being able to find it. Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. I've been hearing incredible things about that and I need to get on it. But yeah, that's it for reading. But thank you so much for watching. If you have reached this point in the vlog, let's see, what emoji do I want? Let's do a tree emoji for The Thing About Home. Okay, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below. What are you reading right now? And is it living up to your expectations? I always want to know that, okay? And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.
Showing. I ain't living for the moment. I see what's mine and I want it. Hungry like a Pac-Man. I'm Bruce Wayne and Batman. I'm Naruto with a Hanzo, got a sharp mind like I'm Einstein. Plus I'm copywriting, so it's all mine. Check it for me, I'm in the sky.